Hello, kiddies. Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Another live, another 1 p.m. time slot PST. And also, not only shout out to all Americans, but honorary Americans, because we have some people around the world who are sharing our pain, who feel our pain, who have the same leftist garbage shoved down their throats and up their asses just like we do. So, all of you from America's hat, Canada, to the UK, Australia, France, Germany. I get love from all over the world, people. So shout out to everyone out there. Japan. So shout out to everybody around this floating rock who watches my shit. I appreciate it. And don't forget, people, this is a viewer driven platform. So I have a P.O. Box 806, Olivehurst, California, 95961-99998. 999. Send me a note, a question. I'll read it on here. Cashapp, $Jericho Green 1, the number 1. Venmo, Green for Green. PayPal, you know the deal. Get in that description box. As you can see, the title, Votes for Sale. I'll explain that in a minute because desperation time has begun. But before I do that, check this out. Studies show our appearance directly affects our mental health. Many anti-aging supplements found on store shelves try to capitalize on that. Most of them fall short. This is because they fail at targeting the root of the problem. The newest trend in anti-aging supplements is collagen. Research shows a good collagen supplement can help make hair stronger and the skin more youthful while supporting healthy joints, bone, and gut health. But don't run to the store and buy the first collagen supplement you see. Grab Ageless Multi-Collagen, which can only be purchased online, the interweb. Ageless Multi-Collagen's ingredients are held to the highest quality standards in the collagen industry. It is some of the purest collagen you can get. I've unlocked a deal for my audience. Get up to 51% off their own order by going to healthwithjericho.com or click the link in the description box. So, what in the hell are we talking about today? There's always some shit going on, but there's some good news. I'll get to that in a second, but of course, the bad news. Bidenis Pervertis, our grandpa in chief, Mr. Hey, this isn't the mall. We are the champions, my friends. That guy, that shaky old bastard, his U.S. Department of Education forgave $5.8 billion in federal and outstanding federal student loans. They said, there you go. No problem. We'll take care of it. It's all connected to this Corinthian college thing. I'll get into that. And don't worry, guys. Again, this is only the beginning. You think they're just wiping this stuff away for those people to be nice? No. They're testing the waters. They're fishing. They're casting that reel. They're casting their net to see what they can drag in, to see how much they can get away with, to see how much pushback they're going to get. They're bracing for it. No, nothing? Oh, shit. Well, here comes the real debt forgiveness. Votes are for sale. They're buying them. Hey, I'm forgiving your debt. All the stress you're under, not knowing how you're going to make ends meet, I'll take care of it. It's just that when I take care of it, November 8th, I scratched your back in June. Need you to scratch mine in November. Simple as that. Not because they care. Don't be ridiculous. And more Commiefornia trash. I'm going to post another picture I saw of trash floating in the water because waterfowl like nothing more than human trash and garbage in their environment. And California's supposed to be like, hey, man, we love the environment, man. I like to go out in the wilderness and tongue kiss wild animals, man. That's bullshit. It's filthy. And the 80s, man. I miss the 80s, guys. A few live streams ago, toward the end, we got to talking about the WWF. Yes, not the WWE, when it was the World Wrestling Federation, man. I was watching an 80s sitcom with my wife the other day. I love the 80s, man. I'm sorry. I got a soft spot in my heart for the 80s. I wish somebody would take me in their time machine. Hopefully, it's made out of a DeLorean or the A-Team van. Take me back to 1987, drop me off, leave me the fuck alone. Life is good for everybody. And so here's the good news we're going to talk about. Ron DeSantis, the best damn governor this country has. Please show me someone else. Maybe there are other good ones out there. They don't get as much limelight as he does, but your boy's doing good in Florida, Floridians. And I'm gonna find this tweet because it's gonna make you sick. If I paraphrase it, you're not gonna get sick enough. You need to get as sick as I did when I read this shit. The Tampa Bay Rays, didn't they used to be the Devil Rays, but then somebody was one of these and made them change it. The Tampa Bay Rays, a hockey team, they came out railing against the gun laws, and we need to do this, and our hearts are broken, and blah, blah, fucking blah. So Ron DeSantis said, okay, you guys want to go ahead and talk shit and step out of your realm of expertise, then we will go ahead and veto the $35 million for your facility. How about that? And I've always wondered, why do taxpayers have to pay for sports stadiums? Aren't these teams owned by billionaires? So raise your own fucking money. Get your own investors. Get your own startup. Start a GoFundMe. I don't know. Whatever billionaires do to get billions, get a couple more and build your own stadium. Why the fuck are my tax dollars going to it? Then my tax dollars are paying for this shit, paying for your altar to worship all this alphabet soup group, Ku Klux Trans, take everybody's guns away bullshit. Why is my tax money going to something like that? And I don't agree with it. Why don't you stick to what you do? Why don't you just do hockey? Okay, do your hat tricks, knock each other's front teeth out, whatever you do, stick to it. Stay the fuck out of guns and kids and stuff like that. You are a sports team. Play sports. But you want to open your mouth about shit? Fine, we'll take your money. Oh, no. Wait. Okay, Florida. Okay. We're sorry. Yeah, I know you're sorry. And then, even better, so you remember the sweet and sour sniffles and all the stupid poke mandates that came out of that shit. Well, unfortunately, the Special Olympics were not out of their reach. And so they decided that in order to have the Special Olympics, that all of the participants have to be poked. And that's not good for them. So Ron DeSantis said, well, if you guys want to have the Special Olympics in Florida like you have, then you are going to have to drop your mandate and allow all of the participants, all of the athletes to participate. You can't do that to them. We'll go into some of the reasons why that's not a good idea. And shout out to my man, Eric W. He's a lawyer who happens to have special needs, I believe, autism. And he kind of put me up on this a few months ago. I'm glad to see it's come to its conclusion in a positive way. But shout out to him for bringing this to my attention. And shout out to Ron DeSantis for being the best damn governor that this country has to offer. And again, every time this comes up, I'm going to say it until it happens. We're borrowing your governor, Florida. We need him for our country. Sorry. But before I get started, shout out to my man, James Henley, because he sent a super chat the other day and I meant to get it the next day. And I was going to write it down, but I was like, I'll remember. And I didn't remember what he wanted, or his comment in the super chat. And what it was maybe you haven't seen these pictures. I mean, if you haven't, lucky you. But there are pictures out there and articles talking about these Ukrainian soldiers who are part of the Alphabet Soup group, and they have unicorn patches that they wear on their uniform to show their affiliation with said group. Oh, what? Hold up. First of all, James, thank you for the super chat. But wait a minute. And see, we keep getting mixed messages coming out of that conflict because our government is just making it rain. Like if Ukraine was a big booty stripper, America is a dude in the club just making it rain. Here you go, girl. Shake it. Shake what your mama gave you. So we're the dummies there just pouring money into this. And so we keep getting mixed messages. Hashtag Ukraine. You have our own elected officials. I'm sorry, I don't like this shit. Call me a nationalist if you want. I do not like to see our elected officials wearing the flag on their lapel of another country on the floor of the Senate or in the House of Representatives. Basically, when you're on the clock, the only flag you need to be representing is the flag that you live under. I know you hate it. I know you despise it. But this is the country you're in. This is the country you work for. So if you're going to put a country's flag on your lapel, you should all have to wear it and show some pride in this damn country. That is the only one you should be wearing. I don't give a shit what any other country is going through. I'm sorry they're going through it, but we go through shit here. Remember who you work for. Remember what family you're a part of. All right? It's not theirs. You're part of the American family, so show some pride in it. Don't be wearing another country's flag on your fucking lapel or your dress, your pantsuit, your multi-$1,000 pantsuit, Loco Cortez, or whoever. Okay? Have some damn backbone. But we keep seeing that. We're sending them billions. The poor people of the Ukraine, we have to send them with AR-15s to protect themselves. Not you, you stupid American son of a bitch. You can't protect yourself with one of those. But Ukrainians, here, go ahead. So it's so bad that we have to arm them and we have to prop up their economy and we have to arm their citizens. But then, like I mentioned before, the president of Ukraine is doing Time Magazine photo shoots. He's doing Zoom calls with students at Stanford. He has American dignitaries coming to visit the war zone. And then this, you have soldiers who are putting unicorn patches on their uniforms. They're supposed to be getting their asses whooped. They're supposed to be having the shit kicked out of them every single day. You see the footage. You Russia bomb this, Russia bomb that. And you got time to focus on a patch that represents who you fuck. Huh? How's that in your train of thought if you're fighting a war that you're supposedly losing? Who made the patches? Who made those patches and sent them out? Like, what's going on here? Is this a war zone or not? Fight. After the war, you can put all the patches you want on your uniform because you're in another country. I don't give a shit. Now, if we saw patches on American uniforms with unicorns, that'd be a fucking problem because the American military is supposed to kill. They're not supposed to show love to the village people. All right? They're in the business of killing. Do that. But that's what this super chat was about, the unicorn patches on the Ukrainian soldiers' uniforms. Which one is it, Ukraine? You fighting a war or you having a party? Are we funding your war effort? Or are we funding the most expensive frat party in world history? Because y'all got visitors and shit over there. You're showing what groups you're a part of. I thought you'd be focusing on fighting. My bad. But let's start off with Bidenis Pervertis. And if you're new to this and you don't know why I call him that, I call him Bidenis Pervertis because that's his Latin name. You know, everything in the dictionary or the encyclopedia in the animal kingdom has a Latin name. We call him Joe Biden, but his Latin name is Bidenis Pervertis. Because remember, back on the campaign trail, all these photos and videos started popping up of him smelling children's hair and whatnot. You want to see awkward? You want to see, look in the dictionary under uncomfortable, and it's going to be a picture of that little 10, 11-year-old girl who was on stage with her parents. I think her dad was getting confirmed as a judge or something, and he's like smelling her hair and trying to kiss her and shit. And she has the most uncomfortable look on her face. That poor girl, that poor little girl. But that's why I call him Bidenis Pervertis. So there used to be this company, this organization called Corinthian College, and it was basically a bunch of guys. They started in 1995, and they would basically acquire these failing schools and then inject money into them and kind of bring them back up to par. And in 2013, they got sued by then California State Attorney General Kamala Harris. And hold on. You gotta hear this shit. Okay. So she sued them. And then it says, Corinthian colleges face numerous investigations and lawsuits, including a federal criminal investigation. California Attorney General Kamala Harris alleged that the Corinthian colleges targeted single parents living close to the poverty line, a demographic that its internal documents described as composed of isolated, impatient individuals with low self-esteem who have few people in their lives who care about them and who are stuck and unable to see and plan well for the future. Through aggressive and persistent internet and telemarketing campaigns and through television ads on daytime shows like Jerry Springer and Maury Povich. So basically she was suing them because they were targeting poor people and basically conning them into enrolling into their schools, like what was that, like Devry, what was it, why like all those colleges you see during the daytime on TV, TCI and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think of another one that I saw in there, but anyway, Everett was Everest College, Everest University. The guy who used to say, "You're sitting on your couch anyway. Why don't you go to school and do something with your life?" So she sued them because basically of predatory practices. Look. Oh, and they went ahead and just took $5.8 billion out of where? I don't know where they're getting this $5.8 billion when we're supposed to be broke. We're supposed to be dealing with inflation on the cusp of a recession, but you got $5.8 billion to bail these people out. Oh yeah, and don't worry, if you went to Corinthians College and you've already paid off your loans, you're not eligible. They're not going to reimburse you because you did the responsible thing and paid off your loans. And they were also saying that, in 2015, they ended up filing bankruptcy and becoming defunct. But they were basically accused of telling people, oh yeah, you enroll in our school and we're going to get you these jobs and that jobs and all your credits can be transferred over to other universities and shit like that. And it turned out not to be true. And the government said, well, hey, don't worry, we'll step in there. And I guess Obama promised them that they would get their student debt forgiven back in 2013 or 14 or something like that, all these backlogs and shit. So here we are almost 10 years later, and these people are having their debt forgiven, wiped away. They don't have to apply for it. It's just automatically, boop, it's gone. 5.8 billion, pulled it out of their ass from somewhere. Now, maybe I need to be more sympathetic. Maybe I'm being too cold-hearted. Maybe I need to walk a mile in their shoes. But you got. You got. You fell for it. You picked a college. You got conned or whatever. But it's not the federal government's position. It's not their place to come in and bail you out with taxpayers' money. You just got to eat that. If they're defunct, then stop paying them. I don't understand. Why is the government... And even if the college did do that, they're already bankrupt, but you owe the money to the federal government, so pay it back. You don't owe the money to the college, to Corinthian College anymore, because they're no longer a thing. They don't exist anymore. The federal government loaned you money to go to that school. So why don't you pay back the federal government? I don't understand why the government is forgiving these loans. They borrowed the money from you. No matter the why isn't important. Because they got duped, they got conned. That doesn't matter. You borrowed the money, so now you got to pay it back, just like the other people who paid it back. And they're forgiving the loans for 560,000 people. What about the people who already paid theirs off? Oh, well, you shouldn't have been responsible. Is that what you mean? That's fucked up. You got. Hey, lesson learned. Next time, I'm not falling for it, Devry. I'm not falling for the banana in my tailpipe, Everest College. What did Bush say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. He messed it all up because he was a globalist idiot. But why is the government stepping in? The things the government are supposed to get involved in, it's a very short list, like a Post-it. Not even a regular size Post-it. You know, the little tiny ones they come out with that the kids love. One of those. Military, infrastructure, you're supposed to break up monopolies. You can't seem to do that because these big tech companies got you by the short and curlies. You don't want to do that. But damn forgiving student loan debt. You got to pay it. I'm sure it'd be nice. And then a lot of the people they're forgiving this debt for got money. You're forgiving debt for people who are in the 1%. You know, that evil 1% tax the rich and all that? You're helping them out. And the fact that Kamala Harris, Gregatron says, JG Wentworth, 877. Exactly. It's my money and I want it now. Are you suffering from mesothelioma? Did you go to this facility between the years of 1978 and 1984? Well, then you might be entitled to a class action lawsuit. Those kind of colleges that you see during daytime TV. I remember before I got started at Trader Joe's way back in the day, I was working at the radio station. 2009 hit, the recession. Thanks, Obama. So people were trimming the fat, getting rid of a lot of things. People who are still with the company started wearing, more than one hat. And so they were going to lay me off, or they did. So I was looking for work, and there were a few months where I couldn't find work. I was applying everywhere, for the city, for the state, here, there, everywhere. I spent my days looking for work. But I remember being home at that time and seeing those commercials like, hey, man, you're not talking to me, all right? I'm not a loser. I just, shit happened. The economy took a dump. I'll be all right. You guys aren't talking to me with those commercials. But I remember sitting there watching them, knowing the kind of person that they were targeting. And it looks like it was some of the people who went to this Corinthian college. Oh, well, you borrowed the money. You got to pay it back. Because the government don't step in on anybody else. Is the government going to come and step in between you and your mortgage company? You and your credit union for your car? You and your kids' tuition for school? You and your cell phone company? Is the federal government going to throw in a cape and be Captain Save-A-Ho and come and save you from your bills? Hell no, they're not. They only do it strategically where it benefits them. And they feel like if they wipe out these people's loans, hey, come November, remember, I scratched your nuts. Now you got to scratch mine. That's what they're figuring. And you know why they figure that? Because that shit works. Because that's what they do a lot when they incentivize people on welfare and shit, or people to come across the border. It's because I'm hooking you up now. I got you. Come over here. Housing, dental, medical, phone, school, food, whatever you need. But hey, come here. Come November, you have to get me back, all right? That's what they're hoping on. But check this out. Studies show appearance directly affects your mental health. Many anti-aging supplements found on store shelves try to capitalize on that. Most of them fall short. This is because they fail at targeting the root of the problem. The newest trend in anti-aging supplements is collagen. Research shows a good collagen supplement can help make hair stronger, skin more youthful, while supporting healthy joints, bone, and gut health. It's a lot of benefits. But don't run to the store and buy the first collagen supplement you see. Grab Ageless Multi-Collagen, which can only be purchased online. Ageless Multi-Collagen ingredients are held to the highest quality standards in the collagen industry. It is some of the purest quality collagen you can get. I've unlocked a deal for my audience to get up to 51% off their own order by going to healthwithjericho.com or click that damn link. Should we get all up in this comment section? Should we get in that ass like a bike with no seat? Shout out to everybody in here. Christian, Guitar Dude, 777. Seriously Skeptical says, I wish I was dead. Well, Seriously Skeptical, I wish you weren't. I'm glad you're not. Anderson Moffat 2, Hunter is a pedo. Yes, I saw some shit yesterday. Now, I don't know how true it is, okay? But it was a picture of a credit card that said Malia Obama on it. I do know that. And there was some white powdery residue on the card. Now, guys, you know, I am a family man. I work hard to achieve the American dream. But there was a time where I got my party on, and I've seen credit cards with that same powdery residue at some of the parties I used to go to. I'm just saying. But it had that card, it had the residue, and then it had some pictures. And one of the pictures was of a nude girl from behind. And she possibly could have been Malia Obama. And at the time, if this is true, allegedly, she would have been a minor, which would make Hunter, as Anderson Moffat 2 said, a pedo, a chomo. Disgusting. But the mainstream mediocres, they won't touch that. They are quiet as a dead church mouse. Shame. Shame. Guitar Dude 777 says, I'm so ICDC college. That's another one. That was Master P's son, Romeo. Yeah, man. We've all seen it. Oh, man, that shit's funny. ICDC college. Let's see. Todd Terrell, just another reason to print money. Just trying to create more inflation to bring the country down. Yeah, and you can only bring a country this great down from inside. Let's Go Brandon says, sup, man? Sup, let's go. Guy Incognito, salt must flow. John Lennon. I just saw something where they're talking about releasing, what was that guy's name? John Hinckley, the one who shot Lennon. That's crazy. Wasn't it? Yeah, John Hinckley Jr. Or no, he was the one who shot Reagan. Can't remember the guy's name who shot John Lennon, but they're talking about him being released as long as he promised to behave himself. But he says, is anyone a moderator on this stream? I don't know, what does that mean? Is someone was hitting me up about that, a moderator. I understand what they do, but how do you even get somebody to do that? And is that worth doing? Like, are trolls and whatnot that bad in the comment section? Because I don't see all the comments. Chime Master J says, Biden wants to know why you have a 9mm. Exactly, because it'll blow your lung out, people. It'll blow the lung out of the body. That's what he said. That's what he said. Seriously Skeptical, are you a troll or something? Die before America does? Get out of here with that shit. Nobody dying. David, maybe this stands for something, but I don't know. FXDWG says, we paid our debts. Nobody bailed us out. Yeah. And you know how good it feels to pay off a debt? You know how good it feels to get that letter when you've mailed or electrically paid your last car payment, your last car note, and that shit's yours? Come on now. That's a good feeling. When you work for something and you've been paying for years and you get that note that says you are done, you don't owe us any more money, man, that's beautiful. Connie Bowe says we need to vote all those idiot Democrats out of office. That's our tax money. That's right. November. That's why they're doing this, because November is coming. It's looming. You ever been outside and a cloud moves in front of the sun and it gets dark? That's what's happening to them. They are desperate. They're desperados. Yeah, Shortar15 says the left loves the 1%, but only if they pay for the Democrats. Exactly. 1 minute they're spitting on them, talking shit about them, and the next minute they're forgiving their fucking debts. Crazy. Let's see. Jim G says Uganda nightmare. Yeah, she is. She's an American nightmare too. That's funny. JG Wentworth. It's my money and I want it now. Oh man. Charlie Rod says Jericho, big ups, bro. What's up, man? I appreciate that. Chris Brumbaugh says vote often, vote hard. Hashtag 2000 mules. Yeah, man. You all need to see that shit. And it's funny because there's a lot of stuff that you already know, but to see it all laid out nice and neat, step by step, everything, to have it all put out in front of you, it's very nice and it's very powerful. And I'm not sure why the highest of law enforcement, like the attorney general or the head of the FBI or something, are not all over this like white on rice. Because Renee Sanchez says, "Party Jericho's. You better not show up here. You guys are cool, but we don't show up at my house and throw no parties. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good at all." Okay, so hold on. I'm looking for something. John Lee says, "How can anyone recognize an American if they can't recognize a non-American?" Great question. Great question. That's a must. We can't even recognize our own border that separates us from another country. Luciano, good to see JG above 300,000. I've been with you since 20,000. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad to know I haven't disappointed. You're still here. It's been a long road, but we're still here. Bach says, "I worked my way through ironworkers apprenticeship." Yeah, you sure did, on your own, right? It was the government, the federal government, there every morning to lay in bed next to you. Come on, Bach, get up, let's go, buddy. No, you probably hopped your own ass out of bed, got your own self dressed, and handled your own business. There we go. Let's see. The Cat Slave at Jericho. I think I've seen you over on his before. What's up? "You are able to make any one of us for your lives. I just don't know how you do it. Joel Davis Media Network has me as a moderator." What's up to Joel Davis too, by the way? Shit, if you want to do it, go ahead, because I'm sure there's some jackass in here who needs to be removed. I don't know what I'm supposed to do for that. Diesel says, "JG don't need no stinking mods." Remember that? What was that? Blazing Saddles, where they were getting the group together of thugs and shit to take over Rock Ridge, and the Mexican biker gang showed up. He said they were handing out little badges, and he says, "Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. Vámonos." That shit was funny as hell. Well, hold on. Somebody said they got monkeypox. Ghost of Josie Wales. That was a great movie. I got monkeypox. Damn, I'm sorry, Ghost of Josie Wales. I don't want to know how you got it, because the main group spreading it, we know how they get it. But be safe, man. Eat a bunch of bananas, I guess. I would think that the cure for monkeypox is bananas. Will Redding says AR-69 gives and receives. That's funny. Okay, anyway, moving on. So yesterday I was walking around. There's, in this town near here, there's a pond, and I don't know if it's funded by the state or by the city, but it's a pond you can walk around, and it's a mile around the whole thing. So my wife and I were like, "Oh, hell yeah." And it was kind of Sully Bach. What's up, man? It was kind of all right, the Cat Slave. If you want to shoot me an email, Jericho Green 2018 at gmail.com. We'll talk about that. So anyway, it's 2 miles. We're going to do 2 laps, do 2 miles. It was kind of warm yesterday. I had my hoodie on so I can get a nice sweat in because I'm trying to make better choices. I'm exercising. I cut out dairy, carbs, cut way back on the sugar. I'm not even going to tell you guys what I would eat for dessert all the time. But German husbando, what up? So I'm trying to make better choices. So my wife, in the morning, we go for a walk. I got my hoodie on, get a nice sweat. And we get there, and I'm like, oh, shit. Homeless people. Let me keep driving down a little more. Oh, more homeless people sitting at the table. Okay, finally, a clear spot. So I get out, lock my shit twice, and we start walking. And number one, I mean, you guys, and remember, I see the super chats coming in. Go ahead and get them in. First come, first serve on the super chats. So I see, okay. I might sound like an asshole, but I don't really care. I got to say it. There are too many geese and ducks at this pond. The shit is everywhere. And it's not little squirts. If you know anything about ducks, they shit like small people, okay? It's everywhere. Relocate them, kill them, I don't know. But most of those winged beasts need to go. It's disgusting. Number 2, the trash from the people. You name it. We actually saw the city workers there throwing away an old couch that somebody threw at the opening to the parking lot. It's trash everywhere, old blankets and shit, shoes, food trash, plastic. It's fucking disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And then the homeless people themselves, right off to the side of the path. Who knows what they're on, talking to themselves and shit. You can smell them before you see them. And we were, like I said, we were going to do 2 laps around the pond. But we only got 1 lap in because of all the homeless people we ran into going around the pond. And then we were going back to where we started, but we had to cut that short because some homeless guy was on a bike, a young guy too, was on a scooter, I mean. He's riding in our direction. He stops on the path and he's just staring at something. And it's a narrow path. It's barely wide enough for 2 people. So my wife would have to get behind me to walk around this dude. And she just goes, she's like, let's just go around. Instead of, excuse me, or, who knows what the fuck this guy's going to do. That's another thing. The anxiety that you have coming up on approaching somebody like this. You don't know what's wrong with them. You don't know what they're going to do. Yelling and screaming, talking to themselves and shit. You look 25 years old. What the fuck are you doing out here in the middle of the day next to a pond? Why aren't you working or in school? Matter of fact, you're 25, you're done with school. But these people choose, that's another common misconception. People think that there's no resources for homeless people. We need to build more of this. We need to do more. There's just no resources for them. There's nowhere for them to go. That's bullshit. Now, that may be true in some areas, but in some areas, I can tell you for sure that there are facilities and money for these people, but they don't want it. They prefer the lifestyle on the streets. No responsibility, no schedule, and all the dope they can inhale or inject. All the hepatitis they can stand. But when that shit starts interfering with people who just want to go and walk around a pond, that's a problem. See, like most people, most Americans, our needs are very simple. And occasionally, I would like to go on a nice walk around a pretty pond with my beautiful wife. Is that too much to ask? State of California. And since we have a $90 billion budget surplus, well, then we better start seeing a whole lot of things get fixed around California. That's a lot of money. That's enough for roads, schools, getting rid of this fucking trash that you act like you don't see. You ever go on and off a highway in California? There's trash everywhere. You've been under an overpass in California? There's trash and people. I had to pick up a family member from San Francisco a few months back. I'll try not to ever do that again. The homeless encampments, the filth. What, you think when these people move, they go, hey, hold on. Hey, homeless guys. Let's pick up our trash first before we go. Let's leave it cleaner than the way we found it. I don't know if you see this in other states, but in California, especially where I live in the Central Coast, you see a lot of people would wear these sweatshirts, and it almost became like a cult thing. Not the bad cults, but a cult classic kind of thing. But it became, people would wear these sweatshirts and would say, what is it? Take your trash or something like that. And there was a picture on the back, and it's basically saying, at the beach, clean up after yourself, haul your trash or something like that. So that's not real. And all throughout the state of California, there are a ton of people who don't believe in cleaning up after themselves and leaving the area cleaner than they found it. They leave behind trash, probably drug paraphernalia, needles. And what if you have squalor and filth? What does that attract? What do they call it? Starts with a V. No, not vagina. Don't be perverted, guys. Oh, vermin. That's what it is. Vermin, roaches, rats, mice. And what do they carry? Are they clean little animals? No, they carry disease, the fleas. That shit is disgusting. That whole California is the cleanest. I don't know about that shit. We need to redo that. We need to redo the cleanest states in America, because I don't think California is at the top anymore. Not from what I see. Like, you ever seen an area so dirty, you're like, damn, I'm going to come down here on my weekend and pick this shit up. I almost feel like doing that. I'll try to post one on my YouTube page under community, but I posted on my Instagram at JG Talk. Hashtag Cali Trash or Cali Clean. I'm gonna chronicle these things. Hashtag Cali Clean. It's not clean. It's disgusting. We don't ask for too much as taxpayers except to see where our money is going, and you can't even keep our common areas clean. I'll post a picture today of the trash in the water. And right behind that trash that I took a picture of, a pile. And here's a funny thing. There's a Little Caesars in the little strip mall by this pond. And there was a box of crazy bread. The lid was open, but it was full of crazy bread. So how hungry are you motherfuckers? Because I know if life is bad enough, I'm living on the street and I come across a box of crazy bread, in a very short amount of time, that's just going to be an empty box. Because that crazy bread's going to be working its way through my intestines. So how bad off are they? You seem to not want a box of crazy bread. Young people out there, young, able-bodied. Well, Jericho, you don't know their medical history. Well, I do know that I see them walking around town for 12 hours. So if you can do that, you can work. And you can't force people to work. You can't make being homeless illegal. Well, we got to do something. Because these people cannot be taking over public spaces. People, one thing you shouldn't do is go to downtown Chico in California. Not unless you love filth. If filth is your thing, if filth gets you off, you're going to love downtown Chico. Because they put this little park in there and a fountain. It was beautiful, a jewel. Not anymore. Overrun by homeless. And these aren't the homeless of the past. These aren't homeless people with a little stick and a bindle who are just looking for another empty train car to hop into to go on to their next adventure. They're on drugs. They're mentally unstable or both. What were we supposed to do? Just ignore it? There was an old lady walking up ahead of us with her little dog, walking past a group of homeless people. I'm like, man, I hope they don't mess with her. I hope they don't say something to her. And if they did, if it got bad, I would definitely come to her defense. Poor old lady. But you know how many times walking that 1 mile, I had to tell my, hey, babe, come over on this side. Come walk behind me. Come over on this side, away from them. California is fucked up. But like I said, $90 billion budget surplus. What you going to do with it, Gavin? We're going to keep working on that high-speed train to nowhere. Where my mom lives near Fresno, California, when you're leaving to get on the highway, it's 168 West. When you're leaving there, you look off to the right, and there's these huge white ramps. Like, they should at least turn it into a skate park or something. It'd be great for kids to skate on. But these huge white ramps, these wide, they got to be 10, 15 feet wide. They just go and they stop. That's it. They just stop. They're not connected to anything. They just built a white ramp. Peace. We're done. Absolutely disgusting. Let's get back in this comment section for a minute. Justin Cantlin says Texas needs to secede. Nah, Texas, you stick around. Just make Senate or Austin secede. Army wife 007. OMG, I totally agree. Hey, shout out to the Army wives. All right. I know we give a lot of praise. We heap it upon the service men and women, deservedly so. But the wives who are home, who keep things running at home so their husband can be over there and fight and concentrate with a clear mind, knowing that mama got everything handled at home. The women who go through their husbands leaving, the deployments, oh shit. You know, the day is coming, the day arrives, the kids are sad, she's about to be, you know, a single parent basically for a year, however long they're going to be gone. So shout out to all you Army wives, Navy wives, Marines, Air Force, even the Puddle Pirate Coast Guard. Shout out to all of you who give these men a good home to come back to. And I hope they come back to you whole in physically and mentally. I hope you get back the person that you sent to wherever they have to go. And I tell you one thing, man, don't show me a video about a soldier or somebody surprising their kid when they come back from overseas. Oh, that shit gets me every time. They're at like some school assembly or something, and dad, he's like dressed as a mascot or something. Oh man, shit. Gets me every time. Shout out to all you ladies staying home, keeping everything together, running the family and everything. Shout out to the communities of women on base and stuff to get together and support each other. That's awesome. Let's see. Justin Cantlin said Jericho enunciated my name correctly. Much love. Hey, I tried to, man. I take pride in trying to pronounce people's names correctly because I've seen some shit where people just butcher somebody's name. It's so messed up. Guitar Dude 777, he says, shout out to Tulsi Gabbard. That's right. Hey, I tell you what, if I had to vote for a Democrat, and not that all Democrats are bad, but you guys got some bad representatives. But if I had to vote for a Democrat, I would consider Tulsi Gabbard. I may not agree with everything that she says, but she seems to have her head on straight, and she's also active duty military. So you go, girl. Be safe. So DeSantis, the number one governor in the state of California. Miguel C says, the great Florida in the house. Much love for you, JG. Keep up the good work. Yeah, you say that now, Miguel, till we steal your governor and make him president of the United States, because we need him. So let's see. We'll start talking about those stupid ass Tampa Bay Rays. So let me find their bullshit ass tweet. Like, I'm sure they have some millennial like running the Twitter pages, you know, these sports teams and stuff. But man, they must not like look at these tweets at all, or maybe they don't give a shit. But this shit is just the most virtue signaling SJW, just soaked in it. It's disgusting. Okay, so this is from the Tampa Bay Rays. Oh no, baseball. It's not hockey, it's baseball. My bad. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays are baseball. Either way, who gives a shit? Okay, so the Tampa Bay Rays. And of course, guys, do they have, because this is June, we're only the 4th day of June. Hello. How about, this is one of my favorite jokes. What do gay horses eat for lunch? Hey. Shit gets me every time. I told that to my wife the other day and she just rolled her eyes, which is even funnier. Okay. Tampa Bay Rays. Do you think their logo is in the Tampa Bay Rays colors? You're wrong. It's June. Of course, it's in rainbow / Ku Klux trans flag colors. That gag me with a spoon. This shit is stupid. Here we go. You ready? You ready for the bullshit? Put on your rain boots because the bullshit is going to get deep. Put on your galoshes. I'm sorry. Let me read it. Let me read it the way they want you to feel it, okay? Here we go. All right, guys. Tampa Bay Rays baseball team. We all deserve to be safe in schools, grocery stores, places of worship, our neighborhoods, and houses in America. The most recent mass shooting in Buffalo and Uvalde have shaken us to the core. Let me do it. Here we go. Oh, that's better. The Tampa Bay Rays are mourning these heartbreaking tragedies that took the lives of innocent children and adults. This cannot become normal. We cannot become numb. We cannot look the other way. We all know if nothing changes, nothing changes. Look at that play on words, guys. Oh. The Rays organization stands committed to actionable change and has made a $50,000 commitment to Everytown for Gun Safety's Support Fund. Everytown is the largest gun violence prevention organization in America. Rather than our usual game coverage on social media tonight, we've partnered with Everytown to amplify facts about gun violence in America. Isn't that awesome, guys? So instead of tuning in to see the baseball game that you want to see, they're going to be talking with Everytown to amplify facts about gun violence in America. That's riveting entertainment. We understand that no single organization can solve this crisis alone, but working together, we can make an impact. We invite you to join us and do what you can, when you can, where you can, because our lives depend on it. Oh, guys, how awesome was that? Thank you, Tampa Rays, you baseball team. Oh, have you ever heard more words more profound than that? Here we go. Tampa Bay Rays. I know, guys. I know what you want to say. I'll say it to them. Tampa Bay Rays, shut the fuck up. You are a baseball team. So concentrate on baseball. Stop with this pandering. What the fuck? What? Shut up. I'm so tired of this shit. Where was this talk about gun violence years ago? You know how violent Tampa Bay is? I told somebody I was going to Florida, and I'm going to Florida in November. They said, "You're not going to Tampa, are you?" Tampa is fucked up. Where are all your tweets about that? Is it too many? Is it too much? Are you worried that you be sending out too many tweets too often because of all the lives that are taken down there? Is that what it is? Did you hear that sappy shit? Instead of showing you baseball, because we're a baseball team, we're going to have somebody come on and talk about gun violence statistics. Oh, man. Babe, put extra butter on the popcorn. This shit is stupid. You don't give a damn about no gun violence. It's just the latest thing for you to hop on and virtue signal. Just play baseball. Don't change your fucking logo because it's June. Huh? Are you going to change it on Juneteenth to some Pan-African color bullshit? Do you put little bunny ears on the TV for Easter? Fucking stop. so tired of these teams. Oh, it's gun violence awareness night at the baseball park. How about you overcharge me for tickets, beer, and hot dogs and shut the fuck up? If I want gun violence statistics, if I want to tune into some boring podcast about bullshit gun violence statistics, I'll find it elsewhere. Not on the Tampa Bay Rays baseball podcast. Ugh. They're like a wet blanket. They bring everything down and just fuck it all up. So Ron DeSantis said, well, you guys want to open your mouth about some bullshit and get out of your lane? Fine. We will veto the $35 million for your facility. And like I was saying earlier, I think it's weird that taxpayers have to pay for a sports facility. That's not a necessity. We don't have to have you here. Pay for your own shit. You want taxpayer money, but then you're opening your mouth going against most of the taxpayers who funded it. And in Florida, of all places, they like their guns in Florida. What are you talking about? There's no law that's out there that can stop this. There are already laws in place that say you can't take other people's lives on some bullshit. Been there for a long time. What book is it that like 2,000 years ago said you shouldn't kill anybody? It's been around for a while. We've been killing each other for a long time. There's no law you can put in place that can stop it, but there is punishment you can put in place to deter it. There are mental hospitals and insane asylums you can reopen and shove these fuckers in there and medicate them. How about that? What about the overwhelming majority of society who doesn't want to be walking around out here with these fucking psychos? Put them away. Oh, but their freedom. What about my freedom to live and not be accosted or harassed or killed in a lot of cases? I watched body cam footage of some guy in Phoenix just walking around with a knife stabbing people. Huh? Or what about the cop in Wisconsin where Biden says, yeah, just shoot him in the leg? He was walking at the cop in his underwear with a 10-inch kitchen knife. Oh, no, wait. They want social workers to go to these calls, right? Well, maybe we should put a social worker on the scene with the police officer. Why? So there's another person to get killed? There's another person he has to worry about? All these sports teams, the NBA, the NFL, that want to change their logo to rainbow or hands up, don't shoot. Shut the fuck up. You guys employ a bunch of dumbass jocks who were passed along through school who probably can't spell their full name, who be driving drunk, killing people, shooting people, punching their girlfriends in the mouth. Why don't you worry about that shit before you step out here in public? Why don't you worry about your own felonious wife beaters before you step out in the public forum and start telling us what we need to do? Mr. Tampa Bay Rays owner and upper management, let somebody threaten your life. Who are you going to call? Some security, right? Are you going to call them and say, hey, do you have any guys that work for you that don't carry guns? Can you send me the guy over here with a stick or a bat? No, you're going to want the guy with the gun who can shoot it really good to protect you. Why are they so against our protection? If you want to give us a show of good faith. Secret Service, security, for all these people, lay your guns down. Go smelt your guns, and then I'll turn in mine. Turn your gun and put it in one of those machines at the wrecking yard and crush all your guns up into a little cube and throw it away. And then maybe I'll give you mine. But as long as you're trying to take mine and steady stockpiling yours, I don't think so. Now, let's end on some damn good news, shall we? Also, again, winning Ron DeSantis. So the Special Olympics International Board or committee, whatever they're called, they decided that in order to hold the Special Olympics, all the participants, all of the 5,500 participants must be poked. And in Florida, and their laws, Hold on a second. I got this one too. Let me read it from the horse's mouth. Let's see. Because there's laws in Florida that say you can't do that shit to people. You can't withhold stuff from people because they don't get the poke. Hold on a second. There we go. Booyakasha. Okay. The Florida Health Department notified the Special Olympics of the fine in a letter Thursday that said the organization would be fined $27.5 million for 5,500 violations of the state law for acquiring proof of coronavirus vaccination for attendees or participants. So even if you were there to watch and support, or you're bringing your child or your family member or whatever, you had to be poked too. Florida law bars businesses from requiring documentation of the COVID-19 vaccination. DeSantis has strongly opposed vaccine mandates and other virus policies endorsed by the federal government. So basically, they're saying all these special needs kids and their families and supporters all need to be poked to come and attend. And that's a whole nother set of issues. And you've seen with the poke. How many times have you heard about heart issues, people getting heart issues and blood clots and stuff and having issues walking? Some people lost their ability to walk, to taste from this shit. And heart issues. Well, some of the special needs kids who have different disabilities like Down syndrome, a lot of Down syndrome kids are born with heart issues. And as we know, the poke has given people heart issues. So if you already have heart issues, wouldn't this exacerbate it and make it worse and possibly kill you? If not make you gravely ill? There's reasons that people don't want to give these to adults and kids with special needs. My wife used to work with special needs kids for 20 years. We made friends through her work, friends that we still keep in touch with and visit, and their kids have special needs. I've been to some of the Special Olympics events. It's necessary. These kids and adults need to get out there and be around each other. How rare is it for them to be around? That was one of the first things that really caught my attention when I went to the first event, is how you see the kids and adults with special needs reacting to each other, being around each other, interacting, the camaraderie. All around are special needs kids, not just the little group of special needs kids at their school or at their facility where people are looking at them, treating them differently. They're around their people. And not only them, the parents of these special needs athletes. They're around other parents who feel their pain and know what they're going through. This is a chance for them to be around people who understand, because they get the looks too. People don't understand their situation. They don't understand why they're yelling or acting in that manner or moving their hands or their body in a certain way. They deal with that shit every day. And this handful of days, or this one day, however long the Special Olympics are, is a reprieve for them from those looks and that judgment, to be around other parents who understand. And maybe they can learn something. Maybe they have a kid with the same disability. Well, this worked for me. Little Johnny was doing this and that, and we tried this. Because let me tell you, when something is wrong with your child, you will try anything. And if you can get in touch with another parent dealing with your same issue, and they can give you some knowledge to help your child, it's priceless. But these bastards want to come in here and say, no, you have to get this poke, this unproven, unknown poke that we just whipped up in 8 months. Put it in your special needs kid. Good luck. Fuck you guys. I'm glad DeSantis did that and stood up for them. That's ridiculous. These kids and adults who participate, who have special needs, have enough to deal with. Their families have enough. And how would that parent feel giving it to them, and then it brings on another problem or possibly ends their life? They did that to them. They allowed them to do that to their kid. How would that make them feel? Could they live with that? These Special Olympics events are necessary. They're crucial. Let them get out there and have a good time and be around their friends and relax and not worry about people judging them. They can just have fun and have people cheer for them and get awards. It's a beautiful thing. You got people, their chairs setting up. They got snacks and shit, canopies set up. It's a thing. It's an event. And especially down in Florida this time of year, you know there's going to be some canopies up. It's hot as shit. But he threatened them with a fine. See? Money. Hit them where it hurts. They don't care about bad press. They care about money. But then why would they back off? Because if the poke was for their benefit and it's going to help you, why would they back off so easily? Why would they say, go ahead, Ron DeSantis, go ahead and fine us. We're going to make you get the poke anyway because it helps. It's important. It's necessary. No, they didn't. They backed right off like the bitches they are. Because it's not about your health. It's not about you being healthy. It's not about you staying alive and making it through this. It's about power and money. Period. These are humans. Come on. Worst damn thing this planet's ever seen. Don't give them too much of a benefit of the doubt. These people are shit. But you know what isn't shit? Check this out. Studies show that our appearance directly affects our mental health. Many anti-aging supplements found on store shelves try to capitalize on that. Most of them fall short. This is because they fail at targeting the root of the problem. The newest trend in anti-aging supplements is collagen. Research shows a good collagen supplement can help make hair stronger and the skin more youthful while supporting healthy joints, bone, and gut health. But don't run to the store and buy the first collagen supplement you see. Grab Ageless Multi-Collagen, which can only be purchased online. Ageless Multi-Collagen's ingredients are held to the highest quality standards in the collagen industry. And it's some of the purest collagen you can get, period. I've unlocked a deal for my audience to get up to 51% off their own order by going to healthwithjericho.com or clicking that damn link below. So, more comments, shall we? Shall we? Let's see here. Invader Zim. Yep. Poke, 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 poke. Who's next? Not me. John Lee. If anyone who says voting doesn't matter anymore because it's always rigged has already given up. We can't. That's what they want. That's what they want. You ever been put on hold so long that you just hang up? That's what they're hoping for. They're hoping that they could just bend us over and give it to us raw until we just give up. Let's see. Thinking space. Yeah, sending your kids to school is the root of the problem. I'm laughing my ass off. Some schools, there are some good ones, but you have, no matter where you send your kids to school, you have to stay vigilant because this shit's going to bleed into everywhere. Charlie Rod says Biden sending money to Ukraine and the hell with everyone here. Exactly. And that's he's our rep, he's our rep, he's our sales rep. You guys, any of your jobs deal with a sales rep? Are you a sales rep? You know how important that is. That's your middleman to your vendor. They're supposed to help you. They're supposed to have your best interests at heart. They're supposed to look out for you and give you all the deals. Not ours. Hell no. Cody Larkhart. Yes, sir, Jericho. Evil-ish. It sure is, man. Evil. Straight up. Straight up. Kay Grace. Yeah, it's a good thing for those kids. It's wonderful. They need it. They need that break. They need, it's almost like a, I wouldn't say a vacation, but it's not quite, but it's like a getaway. It's like to be able to unplug and just, just enjoy yourself. Joel Davis Media Network. What's up, man? Just here supporting my dog. I appreciate it, man. I'll be back on your live soon. Just shoot that email. Danny says, Charlie Rod, another $700 million going. So you mean we found another $700 million to send over there? I wonder what we could have done with $700 million here. So let me get it straight. They don't want to harden the schools because you got that Jen Psaki, the Ginger Turd's replacement, Wyclef's niece. She's up there saying, well, the president's position hasn't changed. He's against hardening schools. So you don't want to protect the schools, but then you come up with $700 million more dollars to send somewhere else. I feel like it could have been done. Something better could have been done with that money right here in your backyard, jackass. Matt Manning, Biden wants to know why his alphabet soup is cold and only has O's in it. I bet Biden wants to know a lot. Like, where am I? What year is it? Who shit in my pants? You know, just the basic stuff. Ghost of Josie Wales, assault vaccines. That's right. You didn't see him. We didn't see him pushing outdoor activities, getting out in that sunlight, getting that vitamin D. We didn't see him pushing healthy food. We actually saw where Krispy Kreme and McDonald's would give you a 1-year supply of free donuts and Mickey D's if you got the poke. So how can you say this is for your health? And if you get it, we'll give you a year's supply of some unhealthy shit. Because it's not about our health. It's not about our betterment. It's about us bowing to them, bending our knee. That's what they want. How are you going to do that shit? How are you going to tell somebody it's based in health, but we're going to give you unhealthy shit to take it? I know this mind was only publicly educated in the school system. It ain't much, but I know that. I know that doesn't make no damn sense. I know if I got my 6-year-old son in here and told him that, he'd be like, Daddy, that doesn't make any sense. I know, Junior. Tell me about it. And let's end it on some good stuff, shall we? The 80s. Oh, man. You guys, let me know some of your favorite shows in the 80s and sitcoms and shit. You remember that, was it Country Crock, the butter commercial, where all you saw were their hands. And it was a man and woman's hands, and they were always spreading Country Crock on some bread. And he would like reach over and touch her hand. She giggle and shit. Like it always seemed like they were going to go have sex with each other after they ate this toast. That shit was awesome. You know they wouldn't do that shit now. It'd be two man's hands, or it'd be a woman in a man's hand, but the man's hand would have fingernail polish on it and shit. Or it'd be two women's hands, or it'd be a man's hand and a little kid's hand. It'd be something all fucked up. Things were so much better back in the day. And maybe I'm more partial to the 80s, of course, probably because that's when I grew up. But I feel like it was just a better time. We were good. Our military was good. We had money. Hollywood wasn't all fucking weird yet. We hadn't tried to bubble wrap all our kids and keep them safe from every little thing yet. Action movies, everything, even PG-13. PG-13 back in the 80s does not mean PG-13 now. We learned that by watching 80s movies with our kids, and there was a lot of, oh, shit, I don't remember saying that. Ooh, I don't remember that part. Like, shit was wild. What was it? I showed my kids Teen Wolf, and there's a couple of scenes in there with some marijuana, but they use the F word. It's a 3-letter word with an F, or starts with an F, ends with a G. And it's a word that we can't say now, but they must have said it 100 times in that movie. Like when, was it Scott? Yeah, when Scott, Michael J. Fox's character, when he's telling his best friend Styles that he's a werewolf, he goes, they're in his garage, and he goes, and Styles has his back turned to him. He's looking for some weed. And he goes, Styles, I got something to tell you, man. And Styles goes, man, you're not an F, are you? He's like, no, man, I'm not an F. He's like, good, because if you were an F, I couldn't take it. Styles, I'm not an F. He just said that shit. And nobody thought anything of it. The 80s sitcoms, the jokes, they talked about everybody. That's the thing. Everybody was cool with it because they were going after everybody. Everybody was getting it. That's why South Park is so successful. Because they go after everybody. Nobody's safe. The shit South Park says, you know they would be canceled right now. You know it. But since they go after everyone, it's all good because nobody's safe. I love that shit. Movies they made back then, TV shows they made back then, no way. And it's not even like it was some crazy, like risque shit. It was just like jokes and stuff. But now, oh my goodness, man. Oh, Dukes of Hazzard? Come on, man. They always before the commercial break, they jump off of something and then freeze frame. I wonder how the boys are going to get themselves out of this one. I love it. You know how many times I try to hop in the damn car with the window down because of that? Oh, Will Redding, Evil Dead. I like, what is it? The first one was cool. The first one was a little more scary when I was a kid. But is it the third one? Where it's an Army of Darkness, where he goes back in time? Oh, hell yeah, man. This is my boomstick. Oh, man. Oh, that shit was so funny. Let's see. G.I. Joe. That's another one. Remember, back in the day with those cartoons, there was always a PSA at the end to give you a lesson. I remember when these boys found some matches in the Indian G.I. Joe. I don't remember his name, but it's probably some shit they would consider racist now. But the Indian G.I. Joe, he's like, hey, what are those kids? Oh, we found some matches. Boys and girls, when you find matches, you give them over to an adult. You know, shit like that, man. It was beautiful. Riptide. What was Riptide? It feels like something with jet skis or something in it. Oh, USA. That's right, now Adamson. USA Cartoon Network, man. Forget it. In a minute. Cool Ghost. I don't know who that was. Remember Mr. T had a cartoon. What was his name? Jabberjaw? Or was that the 70s? Can't remember. Robin LeBoob? I hope it's LeBoob. 2,000 Mules. Yeah, see it, please. They Live. That's another one. Oh, the video store. Come on, guys. Friday, Saturday nights at the video store. You were hoping and praying they had the new release that you wanted. And if they didn't, guess what? Oh, well, you just missed out. There are two things you could do. You could wait and hope that somebody brings a copy back before you leave, or you got to come back later, period. There was no, just go stream it right after they're done filming it. No. That shit was, you just missed out. If you didn't catch it in the TV guide, sorry. Animal House Stripes. Oh, that was with Bill Murray. I never watched. I think I saw that once. Was heavy metal from the 80s? Yeah, I believe so. There's some good metal in the 80s. RoboCop. Hey, RoboCop is one of the most violent movies I've ever seen in my life. And I watched that as a kid. As soon as that came out on video, I watched that shit. Oh, man. That shit was, when they were shooting him and he turned, the shark, Jabberjaw. When they were shooting him and, killed him before they turned him into RoboCop. And they were like, the bad guys were like, does it hurt? With a shotgun. Boom, blew this dude's hand off, shot the shit out of him. Man, that shit was crazy. And then the scene where the bad guy, he goes in there to that young executive who was talking shit to Dick Jones, and he's in there with the prostitutes doing drugs and shit. And he walks in. I don't know that actor's name, but that dude was in everything in the 80s. He was the dad on that 70s show. But he walks in and sees the hookers and he goes, bitches leave. And they grab their shit. They're like, call me. And the other part where that same dude, RoboCop, fucks him up and he's all, I work for Dick Jones. He's the head of OCP. Now I got to go watch RoboCop, man. You guys are bringing back the good ones. Ren and Stimpy, was that 80s or 90s? I'm not sure about Ren and Stimpy. But that was a great one. Was it Captain Caveman? I don't know if that was 70s or 80s, but I used to watch that when I was little. Captain Caveman. That was shit. A-Team. Come on. Spencer for Hire. What was the other one? Spencer for Hire. What was the couple? Oh, Heart to Heart. Yeah. None the Miser. Yeah, 90s was Ren and Stimpy. That's right. Heart to Heart. Remember Scarecrow and Mrs. King? Fucking Magnum PI. Oh, come on. Fuck. TC, his friend who flew the helicopter in them Hawaiian shirts. Swamp Thing. Hell yeah. I remember that movie. Gremlins, Ricky Spanish. That's one of the ones. The Burbs. That's a good one. I remember watching The Burbs in school when I was in elementary school one year on like a Friday movie day. But Gremlins, that was one of the ones. I think that was PG-13, but he said motherfucker in it. And we weren't expecting that. And my son turned and looked at me like, what's that word? Is that one I can say? No. Different Strokes. Yeah. Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. Oh, remember the episode with Dudley in the bike shop? Hey, that one hit hard, man. That one hit hard. Pee-wee's Great Adventure. Remember Pee-wee's Playhouse? I think that might have been, no, that might have been 80s. That was like an acid trip. Pee-wee's Playhouse was like a damn acid trip on your TV screen. Knight Rider, come on, that's one of the best intro songs ever. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. Oh, come on, my son loves that show too. Isn't it great when you show shit to your kids that you used to watch and they like it? And if they don't, you're like, what the hell's wrong with you? Why don't you like this? Ghostbusters, yes. The first two, not that bullshit with all the women they put out in 2016. No, thank you. But the first one, yeah, hell yeah. The second one was good too. With what was his name? Sigourney Weaver. She was in it. I'm trying to remember the villain's name. But yeah, the Ghostbusters were the shit. Fat Albert, I think that was 70s. But Crush Groove, Electric Boogaloo. Oh man, come on. As soon as I saw Electric Boogaloo, I was out there and the next day trying to break dance and pop and lock and shit in the driveway. Yeah, Carlos Love, dude was lining up the limb. Yeah, he was like, boom. And the black guy was like, does it hurt? Does it hurt? And then the part where one of the bad guys, he got covered in that toxic waste and shit, and his face was melting. And he's like, and he goes out in the road, and that dude just fucking hits him with that bread truck, and he splatters off the windshield. Man, I used to watch crazy shit as a kid. Miami Vice, Bam Bam Bigelow, hell yeah, man. Hey, who didn't have their damn sleeves rolled up like this after watching Miami Vice with a damn pastel t-shirt and a white blazer? Stop it. Slip-on shoes with no socks, Crockett and Tubbs, come on. And when they made the movie with Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell, that was an atrocity. They should be brought up on charges for that. Fucking movie was sorry. Cheech and Chong, Finkelstein, the Finkelstein shit kid. Good name. Cheech and Chong. The only one I like is Up in Smoke. And I don't know if that might have came out in the 70s, but that's the one where they go to court and they're going to jail, and the judge has that glass up on the bench, and Chong takes it and he drinks it. And he's all, this is vodka, man. And the girl who was snorting the Ajax. Some good shit. Masters of the Universe. Yeah, man. The original. The one they made on Netflix was dog shit. But Masters of the Universe, the movie with Dolph Lundgren and Courtney Cox. Man, I'll be on here all day, guys. I'm going on about the 80s. But, Remo Williams. Come on, he ran across that wet concrete. Dodging bullets and shit. Oh, man. Sledgehammer. Was that Stacy Keach? What was that show that Stacy Keach was a detective and he had the fedora and shit and the trench coat? Toxic Avenger. I used to be on USA Up All Night. What was that girl's name? Rhonda something? USA Up All Night. You want to see some B movies? Man. What's his name? Simon and Simon. Oh, the Fall Guy with Lee Majors. I had a Fall Guy lunchbox, man. That was no bullshit. Loved it. Them lunchboxes back in the day, you could kill somebody with them fucking metal lunchboxes. No bullshit. Yeah, Kurtwood Smith. Thank you, BJ. Blaskovich Gaming. Thank you very much. That was Kurtwood Smith, Jericho. Clarence Boddicker. Yeah. I work for Dick Jones. And he was throwing him through those windows and shit. He's head of OCP. Oh, man. Remember Rescue 911 with William Shatner? That was a shit. I remember seeing an episode with this guy. His two dogs got electrocuted because he was running in a lightning storm in Arizona, and he had them on metal chains. And then he got struck by lightning through his head, and it went through the metal chains, and his dogs exploded. That shit was fucked up. The Cat Slayer, that's right. The Equalizer, the British dude. We had that badass car. Oh, Meatballs. Come on, man. What, Pizza the Hut? Quantum Leap. Oh, man, with Scott Bakula. I don't remember the dude who played like the guy he traveled in time with, but Scott Bakula. Hell yeah. The Lost Boys. I want to show that to my kids, but I think it's just out of their range. I think it'd be too scary. Maybe not. Maybe my daughter's tougher than I think she is, but pretty sure she'd be scared out of her mind. But believe me, as soon as we can, yes, the Lost Boys. And I grew up near Santa Cruz where they filmed that. I was about 30 minutes from Santa Cruz. We always used to watch it, be like, oh shit, that's the Giant Dipper and all this shit. Karate Kid. Not a big fan of Karate Kid. I know it's huge, but my wife, she loved it. But Karate Kid, I wasn't a huge fan, but I get it. Wax on, wax off. Predator, yeah, come on, man. That scene with him and Carl Weathers with their arms like this. What's wrong, Dylan? CIA has you pushing too many pencils. Billy! Fuck yeah. Oh, man. Stick around. Movies of shit. I know Arnold's a garbage piece of shit now, but back then, huge. Transformers, a cartoon. That's why the movie sucked, because they didn't even have the damn Transformers sound. Come on. Hunter. That's what it was. No, Hunter. Was that with Fred Dryer? Which one was with Fred Dryer and he had the female partner? Was that Hunter? Shimano Fields. Hey, Hoser. What's up, eh? What are you talking about? Carlos. Hey, man, of course. Come on. Airwolf. I love Airwolf. Ernest Borgnine. Yeah, man. Airwolf was a shit. I remember I was like, oh, I just think it was cool when they put it in silent mode because it'd be like actually like dead silent. What? Pee-wee's Playhouse is $200 on DVD? Fuck that. I got my memories. Paying $200 to see that shit. The word of the day. Ah, Kit. Yeah, of course. Michael. It was the voice of Kit was the teacher from Boy Meets World. What you talking about, Willis? Yeah, man. Fucking. Oh, man. Class of Nukem High. That's right. Oh, man. Yeah, you know, a lot of good memories with the 80s, man. We'll do this again, believe me. Niall Adamson, I used to stay home for the 24-hour marathon at Clint Eastwood. My dad used to watch, was it the Duke? They'd have a Duke marathon on TBS when it was called the Superstation. He used to make me watch it. I wasn't a big fan of John Wayne. I'm definitely a Clint Eastwood fan. Pale Rider, I think, is his best movie. Has everything. Redemption, revenge. You know, he's the gunslinger who became a preacher and he doesn't want to do that anymore, but then he has to stand up for these people in this town who are being overrun and extorted by this dude named LaHood. And I believe that one was in 1985. So that's another one from the 80s. Man, there's a scene in that movie that one of the bad guys is the dude from Moonraker, the big tall dude with the silver teeth. And he plays like one of his henchmen. And there's a scene where they meet Clint Eastwood in town, and you know all his the henchmen are kind of surrounding him, and hey, where are you going, boy? All that kind of shit. And so Clint Eastwood, and this is like in the mountains somewhere, snowing and shit, cold as hell. And so they walk. There's this barrel that has a bunch of axe handles in it. So they all grab the axe handles and they hit him in the hand like, yeah, we're gonna fuck you up. And so one of the guys is holding him and he hits him in his hands with the fucking axe handle right on the knuckles. Hey, man, you ever had your hands cold and you hit them on something, or you've been under a car trying to loosen a bolt and that shit all of a sudden pops loose and you punch the engine? Oh, I just punched my damn wedding ring. Shit. Man, few things hurt worse than that. Alf. Come on. What was Alf's favorite snack? Cats. Alf was from Melmac. Oh, come on. See? Take me back to 1987, drop me off, and leave me the fuck alone. Here we go, people. Let's do these super chats, shall we? These super chats. They're not just chats, they're like super chats. These chats are like super. Here we go. Just making sure I get all the way back up here. I don't want to miss any, like I did for my boy James. Come on. Come on. Here we go. 1, 2. All right, I think I got them all. If I missed it, and I don't think I will, But if I missed it, if I missed your super chat, I will definitely get it on the next live. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. Oh, see, I almost did miss one. See, guys, why you do that to me? Why you let me almost miss a super chat like that? Oh, remember Charles in Charge? Charles in Charge, Silver Spoons. Here we are, face to face, a couple of silver spoons, hoping to find we're two of a kind, making it go, making it grow. Oh, hell yeah. Or Facts of Life with Tootie. What's her name? Blair? Is that her name? So many. Punky Brewster. That was one of my wife's favorite. Was Punky Brewster. What was her name? Soleil Moonfry was her name. That's a weird one. Oh, come on. How can we forget Thundercats? Thundercats, Thundercats, ho! And I remember as a kid, I used to watch Thundercats, and then there was a Rambo cartoon. And but after it, where I lived, the local station was called KCBA Fox 35, and then the cartoons was called the Kids Club. And so after the cartoons would start, about 5 o'clock, was it Leave It to Beaver would come on, and then the show called Gimme a Break with Nell Carter, and she R.I.P. Nell Carter, but she was like this sassy housekeeper, the sassy black housekeeper. That shit was funny. Give me a break. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. The 18 was another good one. They were sent to prison for a crime they didn't commit. And if you can find them, maybe you can hire the 18. And then, hey, we got the A-team all cuffed up and tied up. All right. Just throw them in this warehouse with everything they need to get out of here. Let's lock them in the warehouse with a blowtorch, a vehicle, and some guns. They'll never get out. Okay. The Hawk 666, thank you very much. BTS, a K-pop group, visited the White House, had a press conference about Asian hate. It was cringe. What was more cringe was Biden welcoming them like Dracula. Come, my children, let me sniff you. I think they might be too old for his taste, but I see what you mean. Asian hate. You know what? Of course, nobody should have hate upon them, but let's stop with the hate crime shit. Crime is crime. But a few months back, they were touting these numbers about Asian hate crimes in New York City have risen by 800%. No bullshit. It was like 500% or 800%, just astronomical. Somebody who doesn't want to look for facts will think, oh my goodness, this is a fucking epidemic. Every Asian person that steps outside is getting hit over the head. When it turns out in New York City, there were like 8 hate crimes against Asians, and it went up to like 18 or 28, whatever 800% of that would be. Same thing in LA. There were 15 recorded incidents. Now there's 24. Yes, that's more, but it's not a lot. There's millions, 10 million people or something in New York City, 3 or 5 million people in LA, and you have 12 reported incidences. I'd say that's pretty damn good. But oh, it went up by 300%. Oh shit, stop it. Shima 86, thank you very much. What other YouTube content creators would you like to collab with? Also, Mayor Beetlejuice of Chirac is getting unhinged. Boy, I don't know what they did to her, but you look at her before she got into office and you look at her now, that's two different people. She looks like if you took pre-Chicago mayor Beetlejuice and compared to what she looked like now, you would think it's the pre-mayor's ancestor from like 150 years ago. You know, those 1800 pictures, that kind of sepia tone shit. Everybody looked mad and old. Like that's what it looked like. It looked like she was put in an aging machine. She looks terrible. Other YouTubers I like to collab with. Some of them I have collaborated with. B Tatum, my man ABL. Hey, Tim Pool would be cool. What's the guy? Something Noir, the black dude who does the Second Amendment stuff. He's been on Rogan. There's a bunch of them. I want to collab with anybody who wants to collab with me. So come on. Come on. All right. On to the next, shall we? Okay. Marlena Lavely, thank you very much for the twomp. Here's a twomp because gas prices will be this price in a year for a gallon. Yeah, it's on its way. I posted something on my Instagram page, over $9 a gallon in LA. Uh-oh. Hey, Biden, where's the electric buses, semi-trucks, boats, police cars, fire trucks, ambulances, military vehicles? That will never happen, Marlena, because it's all talk. They want us to partake in that electric bullshit, not them. That's for us, not them. Don't be ridiculous. Bach, thank you very much. He said, I observed a homeless man in downtown LA brushing his teeth in green gutter water. These people need to be committed. Yes, sane people don't do that. Sane people don't pull their pants down and take a shit in broad daylight on the sidewalk. Yes, that is mentally unstable behavior. And if you can see it, I don't know if you're a medical professional or not, Bach, but let's just say you're not. You can see it. I know they can, but they don't go down there. You think Eric Garcetti goes down to Skid Row? Come on. If he does, it's an election year, and he's just passing through. Silverback Pinoy, thank you very much for the $3 super sticker. I always knew my Filipino friends would call each other that, Pinoy, but I never knew if I could, so I never did. I don't know exactly what it means. Don't want to go out yelling these things until you find out, you know? Yeah? Okay. Oh, there we go. Christian, yo, Hoser. Up there, my Canadian connection. He says, hey, Hoser, a beautiful day in Ottawa. Me and Mel are in the backyard BBQing and drinking, listening to you. Well, I hope I gave you a good soundtrack to your party. By the way, my boy is back from base. One last thing, you're international, no more Americans. Hey, gotta have love for my Americans. But don't worry, Christian, you and Mel and your son are definitely honorary Americans. Welcome anytime. I'm glad your boy is home. Enjoy it. Hug him. Enjoy his presence before he gets back out in the world to be a productive member of society like you raised him to be. Oh, we got more. Oh, there's one. There's a super. You almost got away from me, you little fucker. Come here, you little fucker. Jim Pollock, music/SRL. Thank you for that $1.99. 9. Hold up. Don't want to miss anything. Don't want to miss any super chats. People put them in today. They want to hear them today. There we go. Another one from Christian. Thank you. All right, see? You're going to start something. Here we go. $5. Thank you. It says, why do women prefer sleeping with truckers instead of YouTubers or sailors? That's a personal attack. It says we always back up before unloading. You should have. Who do you back up into before they unload? That's the question. All right. Techfall 15. My mom died at 53 of a heart attack after her second Moderna shot. Sus as hell. First of all, I'm sorry for your loss. That is far too young to be dying of anything. And I hope that you were able to spend some quality time with her before she passed on. And that's another thing, the bullshit lies you hear. Biden got up there in his stupid ass gun grabbing speech and said that gun companies are the only companies who cannot be sued. That's a bullshit lie. How about these vax companies that are poking people with this shit? They can't be sued either. So until you're ready to undo that, you're full of shit. And again, I'm sorry for your loss, man. That's some hard shit, your mother. I hope time will be gracious and allow you to get over it. I mean, you never fully do, but, you know, at least make it so you can function day to day without being too sad about it. I'm fortunate enough to still have my mom. I hope I have her for a very long time. She ain't going nowhere. Marlena Lavely, again, thank you. Golden Girls. I don't know. Was Roseanne 80s or 90s? Both. Yeah, Roseanne, that show was funny as hell. And the Golden Girls, my wife and I were on season 3. And it's funny because we're remembering all these episodes we used to watch as kids. That's another one. Sophia, come on. Sophia be dropping bombs. She said she had a joke on one episode about lawn jockeys. And it was something, I don't remember the setup, but she was like, oh, she's going to marry that little black guy, Prince. That shit was funny. You can't laugh at shit anymore. Their version of the left version of the world fucking sucks. Charles Turner Jr., what's up, man? Good to see you in here. He says, Jericho, what do you think about the rhinos going along with the anti-gun nonsense that our grandpa in chief wants to push? By the way, things definitely were better back then. For sure, man. The rhinos are worse than the far left Democrats. They're worse than the lefties because you're a wolf in Republican sheep's clothing. They're awful. How can you do that? Lindsey Graham and all those fuckers. How can you do that? You know they're wrong. You know you're on the right side. What are they afraid of? They're talking all that shit about Trump. Oh, Putin has pictures of him pissing on a hooker. I want to know what kind of pictures they got of you fucking rhinos for you to turn on your party. Scumbags. Fucking scumbag. Hey, scumbag. Hey, Democrats, I got your vote right here. Oh, you dirty pieces of shit. Almost there, folks. Folks. Okay, here we go. German husbando. Who's bando? Hope I'm saying that right. Thank you. It says I was born in 1990. The 90s was also a golden decade. My cartoons, movies, music, and toys were untainted. Yes, they were, man. Playing outside with friends was actually a thing. Social media did not exist. I would not mind, even though I'm a beneficiary of social media, man, I would be mad if it went away because it is just fucking terrible. It really is. The 90s were cool. Great. I was a teenager in the 90s, man. The music I used to listen to, and, being a teenager, hanging out with your boys or your friends or whatever, man, it was cool. Right before shit got crazy. Eileen J., thank you. When my son was 3, he saw a man with a metal prosthetic leg. He looked at him. Are you RoboCop? The dude's... Dude, what a compliment. Shit, he asked if you were a RoboCop? See, kids are the best, man. Kids just, hey, they just call it how they see it. They see the world so simplistically. That shit is awesome. But they do say shit a little loud sometimes. My son, I'm like, hey, say that? Daddy, what's wrong with that man's face? Hey, man, come on. Chill out. Why are you saying that all loud? They don't know. I remember being in church one time, and this little badass kid named Jerome, and he was a little baby kid, always getting in trouble. And one of the ushers named John, he was notorious for his halitosis. And he came and got Jerome from his mom and brought him to the back of the church. It was kind of a community. Everybody kind of helped with Jerome. Sometimes his mom would be up there in the choir. And, Night Court. Yeah, that was another one. So John takes him to the back of the church. Oh, a side note, one time, John, he got married at the church, and he's like, hey, can you film it for us? I was like, I don't know. I'm not too good. No, man, please, you can do it. And I filmed his wedding, and it turned out blurry. I told you, John. But speaking of kids being too honest or speaking too loudly, it was like a lull in what the preacher was saying. It was quiet. Like you could hear somebody turning a page in the Bible, and he goes, John, your breath stinks. Oh, awkward. I was like, oh, shit. Kids keep it real. Pixie Girl, 212, married with children. You know what's funny? My son, he just graduated or got promoted or whatever. And since when did we start having promotions for everything? But he's just finished kindergarten. He's going to first grade. They had a little ceremony, and they had this song called Kindergarten, but it was to the music of that Sinatra song, which was the opening theme to Married with Children. But Al Bundy, Al Bundy couldn't exist now. He's too much of a misogynist. He's too much of that patriarchy. His masculinity is too toxic. Oh, Al Bundy. I wish Al Bundy was on TV right now. He was fucking hilarious. But yeah, man, the opening, that's one of the best opening things too. Love and marriage. You can't have one without the other. It's an institute you can't disparage. Ask the local gentry. They'll tell you it's elementary. Anyway, John Lee, thank you, man, for that $10. I appreciate all the super chats, man. Thank you, guys. People work very hard for their money. For you to share some with me for what comes out of my suck hole. I sure appreciate it. One more. I don't want to miss it. I believe there's one. Oh, hold on. Come here, you little son bitch. Yeah, it is. Mallory Faust. Thank you. Alien or Aliens? Not a big fan of the Alien movies. Sigourney. Remember that show? That show in the 80s on Fox called Alien Nation? I remember that shit. There it is. Hoser, your thoughts on Chuck Norris? Hey, missing in action? Forget about it. Missing in action, the Octagon, Hero and the Terror. He made a shitload of movies in the 80s. You can't mess with that beard. Chuck Norris's beard. He looked weird. I remember he had a movie called Breaker 19, but that was in the 70s. But that's back when he had like the blonde hair and he was clean shaven. He looked weird. But Chuck Norris with the beard, yeah, get out of here, man. He'll kick your soul out of your body. Remember all those Chuck Norris jokes? Chuck Norris could slam a revolving door. Chuck Norris's tears could cure cancer, but he never cries. That shit was hilarious. But Chuck Norris is the shit. Okay, here we go. I think this is the last one. German husbando. Fun fact, I graduated high school in 2008. Damn, man, why you got to rub it in? You're young as hell. Right before the reign of Obama, the exalted one. Don't you talk about him like that. I knew he was bad. He was bad news from the start. To my bad government class, or your government teacher loved him, probably. That's a sign right there. But yeah, man, 2008, don't go around saying that stuff to me. That's terrible, man. I graduated in 1998. Ugh. About to go get my handicap placard right now. But hey, we did it, guys. Another live in the books. I appreciate it. I won't be doing a live tomorrow because it's Sunday. I got to have some rest. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, yes, right here, 1 p.m. PST. We're going to do it live. Hit me with your super chats. Hit me with your comments, your questions. Don't forget, this is viewer driven, so all help is appreciated. P.O. Box 806, Olivehurst, California, 95961-9998. That extra number on the end helps the mail get here faster. Not sure how it works, but it does. Cashapp, $ Jericho Green, the number 1, Venmo, Green for Green. And remember, with your chats, first come, first serve. I read them at the end. I got them all this time. Nobody was left behind. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your comments. It was fun reminiscing about the 80s and whatnot. But unfortunately, you know the fools in power are going to do some dumb shit that we're going to talk about again. But until then, you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho. Whoa, hold on. Hold on. Hold up. Somebody just hit me with a super duper. I want to make sure I get it. It is a sizable one. Size matters, guys. Don't let the ladies fool you. Size matters. Carlene. I've never heard that name before. It's a very pretty name. Thank you very much. Psalm 25. Big up. Prayers to everyone. Thank you very much, Miss. Is that a Shih Tzu in the picture? My mother-in-law has a Shih Tzu. Loves that thing. But yeah, you know how it goes. I'm out. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you to everyone for your supers. Carlene, thank you for getting it in. At the end, I will be back on Monday. Lunes, I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.